Oh, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Eek Acres. I called my nurse today, who is basically an advocate for me, and she speaks to my doctor whenever I can't see my doctor in person. And I was on the phone with her quite a while, and I explained everything to her of what's going on and asked her if she would ask my doctor if he would prescribe ivermectin, and I told her why. And I also told her about fenbendazole, and that ivermectin is better than the fenbendazole because of the effects on the liver. Ivermectin is more tolerated than the other because of the liver problems. Some people had discontinued the other because of liver problems. So I'd be willing to do the ivermectin more so than the fenbendazole, because there's time between now and the end of January when they want to remove the kidney to see if maybe possibly, and I don't even know if there's enough time, to be honest with you guys, because I'm not a medical professional to know how long it would have to take for it to do what it would need to do to possibly save my kidney. So anyway, I relayed everything that I know about it to her to pass it on to the doctor to see if he would be willing to prescribe me that, because I'm sure he knows all about it, you know, being a medical doctor, and he's not a dumb guy. So we'll see what happens if he prescribes it or not. If he doesn't, then I'm SOL, because that's not something I can get my hands on without a prescription. So, and doctors don't just prescribe things because you want it. They have to be in agreement and believe that it would be beneficial in order to get it. So we'll see what happens, but I'm on my way to go retrieve one of my trail cameras. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about something in this video, you guys, that I think everybody should. Well, I know all of you guys know this, but I wanted to talk about it anyway as a reminder because the holidays are coming up. We got a major snowstorm coming the end of this week. I'm not looking forward to that. When someone isn't in a position like, say, a position like mine, they don't give it much thought until that time comes. So I wanted to give you guys something to think about and to chew on while you still have your health. Now, I know somebody, and I don't know him very well, but I know of somebody right now that is highly upset because this person believes that they deserve a brand new pickup truck because of how hard they work. And it's creating problems in that person's life because that person's not getting what they want. And we've all heard the saying that if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And there is nothing more true than that. And I wanted to say in this video that when people are that trivial and that petty, number one, I don't think they're grown up enough yet. They're still immature. That if they think a brand new vehicle is going to make all the difference in the world, it's not. It's not. That when they let something like that control their life and dictate how they treat other people because they believe they're deserving of something just because they work hard. Well, shit, I worked hard too. Back when I did my jobs, I worked very, very hard, and I never got a brand new vehicle, and I didn't cry and whine about it because it's a trivial thing, you guys. What you want to focus on in life is to be thankful for what you have, not what you want. You don't want to be seeking all these things that don't mean anything, because I'm here to tell you right now, every time that I've gone into a surgery, and it's been many, many surgeries that I've had, and I've had some surgeries that have been dangerous surgeries, and now I'm facing one that's life-threatening, because a lot of people think that having a kidney removed, that they just go in there and take the organ and zip you up and you're done. It's not like that. You can suffer a major heart attack while having this surgery done. You can suffer a major stroke. These are all real risk factors of having your kidney removed. You can also suffer failure of both of your lungs, not operating. You can suffer having blood clots going to your brain, blood clots going to your lungs, blood clots going to your legs. You can suffer organ failure, damage to your organs, damage to your intestinal tract. Some people have lost a rib having a kidney removed because sometimes they have to remove the bottom rib to get to the kidney. There's all kinds of things that people don't understand. And so when you're facing a surgery like that, you're not thinking about anything when you're on that surgical table before they put you out. When they're bringing you into the OR and you're getting on that cold slab for them to operate on you, and they're hooking you up and getting you prepared to put you under, the only thing that's on your mind is, am I going to open my eyes when this is over with? Am I going to open my eyes when this is over with? That's the only thing that's on your mind. It's not a brand new pickup truck. It's not a house or a motorcycle or a boat. Life is very, very short. And I'm just grabbing my trail cam here. There's been some huge tracks here in the woods, and I'm going to see if anything is on this. Got my trail cam. I remember when there was a time when I too used to think like that. I used to think and dream about all the things that I wish I could have in my life, wanted to have in my life, was trying to get in my life. I outgrew it. I outgrew all that stuff because as my health increasingly went downhill, I realized that these things didn't matter as much as I thought. The things that matter to me are the small, tiny, minute, simple things. Mean more to me than any object or materialistic thing that I could obtain in this life. It doesn't mean anything to me because when you don't have your health, you don't feel like doing the things you once did. You don't even want to do the things you once did. And that's the God's honest truth. That's what it does to you. That's what it's done to me. Nothing matters anymore. Your brain just focuses on getting better, getting well, improving, hoping you'll improve, hoping you'll live, hoping you'll survive. So when you see these people that are making their life about things that only seem important because they're perfectly healthy and have nothing wrong with them, the second something through their, turn their life upside down, they're not going to be thinking about those things anymore. They could care less after that. What you think is important to you is only important to you because you feel good at the moment. But the minute you get gravely ill or have something that's life-threatening wrong with you, that's pretty much the thing that will consume your mind from there on out all the time. And then you're like, you know what? The hell with the down firewood that needs to be cut up with a chainsaw. The hell with the leaves that need to be raked up and put on the garden. The hell with the garden. It's just like everything can wait. Everything gets put on hold because there's more pressing, important things than these little trivial things that we all make our life about every day. Every day, Am I going to get that raise at work? Am I going to be able to afford that next automobile? Am I going to get approved for that mortgage on that house? You guys, when you have something wrong with you that could take your life and take you out of this world in a nanosecond, a house just becomes a house. It's just stick lumber with a roof on it. Doesn't matter if it's 3,500 square feet or 1,000 square feet. Doesn't matter what color your house is. Never in my life did I ever bitch about what I drove. I had pickup trucks. I had several of them, Chevy pickup trucks, and ironically they were all blue. And those things were the biggest pieces of crap. I've said it before in many videos. They were the worst damn vehicles I ever owned in my life was a pickup truck. The worst. And I've had several of them, so it's not like I just had one that was bad and then I was judging them all based on one bad truck. They were all bad. Biggest pieces of shit I ever drove. They kept me in the poorhouse constantly, getting them worked on by mechanics, getting them fixed. Some of the work I did myself, some of it I had to hire out because of my hands. Never again would I want to own a pickup truck. And I've always said it many, many times, and I'll say it until the day I die. The best vehicles I ever owned were imports. Best vehicles I ever owned were Hondas, Subarus, Toyotas. The best. The things that you think are important only seem important when you got nothing else to think about. Because the minute that you have something really bad wrong with you, and you're seeing a lot of doctors and they're telling you scary stuff that could take your life, stuff that could send you going back many, many times and having several tests and everything done, and all this stuff that's painful to go through, very, very painful and uncomfortable to go through with lots of recovery time and having to make arrangements to deal with that and go through it. Do you really think your thoughts are going to be on those things that you think is important, like a brand new chopper, a motorcycle, or house or boat, or any of the things I mentioned? No, it's not. I don't know why people focus their lives on that crap, you guys, because it's all temporary. Just like your health is temporary. And if you live long enough, you could be the healthiest person in the world. But if you live long enough, sooner or later, your body is going to start to give out and you're going to get shit going wrong with you. And it could be something life-changing. And then when that happens, when that day comes, because it sneaks up on you like a thief in the night, it just sneaks up on you without warning, without anything warning you that that's coming. And then just one day you get out of bed and your life is different. And that's what happened to me when one day I got out of bed and I thought, this is going to just be a morning like every other morning. I'm going to turn on the coffee maker. I'm going to start my day. I'm going to turn on the radio. I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then I went to the bathroom and I started urinating blood, bright red blood. And then I realized that morning wasn't going to be the same like every other morning. It happened that quick. I go to bed and I'm fine, and I wake up the next day and I'm peeing blood. That quick. No warning, no pain, no symptoms, no nothing. Just like, what the hell am I peeing blood for? Then I get tests and I go to the doctors and I find out it's kidney cancer. That's how fast your life can turn around. So these people that make their life about all these things, it's like it doesn't even matter, you guys. You only think that it matters. Because then when that day comes and you find out that you might not be around to pay off that house. You might not be around to enjoy that vehicle. You might not be around to hang out with your friends and do the things that you plan to do, or take a vacation or a trip. And then all of a sudden it's like that stuff is on the back burner permanently. And it's like it doesn't matter to you anymore. So for this guy that I know of that's bitching that he doesn't have a brand new truck, doesn't realize what he's got. He's got a good life. But because he's unhappy and not having a pickup truck, he thinks his life's going to be complete if he gets that pickup truck. That's going to do it for him. That's what everyone thinks. That's what everyone thinks that tries to fill that hole. You've all heard about that void everyone tries to fill. Famous people go through it, musicians, actors, non-famous people, rich people, poor people. Rich people try to fill it with all the lavish things in life, and poor people try to fill it with drugs and alcohol and addiction and all this stuff. And there's only one thing in this world that fills that hole, and one thing only, and nothing else will do it, and that's God Almighty from above. If you don't have God filling that hole, nothing in this world's going to do it. I don't care how much you spend your money on stuff. I don't care how many things you obtain to try to fill that void, to say this is going to complete me and this is going to make it to where my life is going to be great from then on. It won't. You'll dump item after item and throw money away trying to fill that void, and it's never going to be satisfied. It's never going to be filled, because only God can fill that void. He's the only one that can fill it. And if you don't believe me, you'll live long enough to find out for yourself that it's true. Because I don't have to convince anyone, because it's only a matter of time before everyone watching this video learns the hard way. And a lot of people learn the hard way. And that's why in my life I've always tried to enjoy the simple things and not complain about what I drive, or if it's the wrong color, or if I don't have enough money, because there was a time in my life when I couldn't afford a can of beans. And now I've got money that I'm putting away in my savings account. And there was times in my life when I didn't even have any money to save. There was a time in my life when I walked and didn't have a vehicle to drive. So does it bother me that I drive a minivan? Hell no, it don't. I'm just glad that it's got four wheels and a good running engine and gets me everywhere I need to go without letting me down. So damn best vehicle I ever had in my life. Best vehicle I've ever owned in my life is that Toyota van, and I love that thing. Best vehicle ever. Am I mad because it's not a pickup? No, I love it being a van, because I get more use out of it being a van than I would ever a pickup. And that's God's honest truth. It's been a great vehicle. So I'm thankful for what I have. I'm thankful that I've got a good woman in my life. I'm thankful that she was able to buy property like this to where her and I can enjoy it together. I would never be able to do this. This is all because of her, not me. It's because of her. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm very appreciative, and that's why I try to do as much as I can for her, and as much as I can to help her, because I realize that I'm a lucky person and a blessed person to have someone like her in my life, because God knows I've been in other relationships to where they weren't worth 5 minutes of my time. And that's another thing about getting older. You realize what's important and what isn't. And then you look back and you say, man, I wasted so much time on such trivial, stupid things and stupid people. And it just was a big waste of time. But it also was something that had to happen because you had to learn. You learned from it, because life is just a school. And it's a temporary place. This isn't our home. This is just a temporary place. It's like going to work. You don't live at work. You just go there to make your money and you go home. Well, someday we're going to go home to our real home, because this isn't our home. Just like work isn't your home. And so, don't get caught up in your life so much to where you think that X, Y, and Z is going to make you happy, because when you go out and obtain those things, you're going to find that you're still the same person. You're still going to be as unhappy as you were before you got it. Getting a damn brand new overpriced pickup truck isn't going to make the difference. Getting a bigger house isn't going to make the difference. If anything, those things are going to make you more miserable, because you're going to go in debt, and then you're going to be wondering and having sleepless nights and wrecking your health on how the hell you're going to pay for it. It's stupid. I don't know why people do this to themselves, but they do, because there's something to learn from it. And it's because they're trying to fill this void that if they knew what to fill the void with, they wouldn't be scrambling to try to fill it with all these other things that just were never going to do it anyway. You could save yourself so much and forego all that nonsense if you just fill that circle with God and let God handle everything. God will give you the happiness. You pray and ask for the happiness. You pray and you ask for what you want in life, and God will bless you with it, and you don't have to go out there and needlessly fill it with stupid stuff that's never going to do it. Because when you don't have your health, you guys, it takes so much away from you. I mean, there was a lot of things that I stopped doing as I got older and got a little more sickly and got to where I had more aches and pains and I just didn't feel good. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to hold off on that until maybe I improve and get better, and then maybe I'll pick up on it. And I haven't done that. And now I got something that's gotten worse. And when I go on that operating table at the end of January, it's like, am I going to survive this surgery? Because when you watch videos on this operation and what they do to you and what could, I'm not saying that anything would go wrong. I'm just saying that those possibilities are there for a reason, because it's happened to people. People have died having this done. People have suffered heart attacks having this done. Strokes, blood clots, lungs that don't work. People have gone into comas. And the older you are and the more health problems you have, the higher your risk of some of that stuff actually happening. So that's why I'm talking about this in a video, because it's not just a cut and dry operation to where they just go in there and remove it and then everything's good. It depends. Depends on your age and how many health problems you got. It's very hard on the body. And can even suffer liver failure. But when I go on that table, I'm not going to be thinking about what I don't have. I'm not going to be thinking about anything out there in the world that I wish I could buy. When I go on that operating table, I'm going to be just hoping that I survive it and open my eyes again in the recovery room. Because I have had a surgery where my heart stopped and they had to jump me. I died. And I immediately went to the other side. And sometimes it can be scary because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what to expect. It's like, where am I? What is all this? It was very foreign to me. It was a place I'd never been before. And I knew something happened, because how else would you get somewhere where you've never been before unless something went wrong? Because you're not supposed to be aware while you're under with anesthesia. So when you face stuff like this, anything, a sudden car accident that could put you in ICU or in a trauma unit where they're working on you to save your life. I mean, you're not thinking about the things that you're thinking about a day ago, 3 hours ago. These people that make their life about all this trivial stuff, it goes in a second when something goes wrong with you. None of that stuff matters anymore. But if you have your priorities in place beforehand, then it doesn't come as such a shock. You realize you say to yourself, well, this is why I was so thankful for the little things. This is why I was so thankful that I just had a vehicle to drive, period. This is why I'm so thankful that I have a roof over my head, because it shows you how quick it could be gone. Don't worry about what you have. Be glad you have what you have, because there's a whole lot of people out there, you guys, that don't get the chance to even experience what you have or ever get to have what you have, and they go without. Some of them go without their whole entire life. So don't be striving for more on top of what you have. Be thankful for what you have. And if if it works out to where you can get something and upgrade and something a little better, fine, but don't make your life about it. Don't let your life revolve around that thing that you want. It's just a thing. It's not going to make your life so great that you couldn't live without it. It just doesn't work like that. Let your life be about serving and pleasing God and praying to God and giving thanks to Him for everything He has done for you. And if it's in your stars to have a new truck or a new car or a home or something, it'll come. Just don't base your life on it, for crying out loud. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because the minute that something goes wrong with you, you're not going to care anymore about that thing that you were so focused on for so long. It's no longer going to matter. Trust me on that one. I speak from experience. It's not going to matter. Live in the moment. Live in the right now. Instead of worrying about what you're going to get tomorrow, be glad for what you got today. Love your animals. Love everyone that you love. And be thankful that you got a meal to eat tonight. Be thankful that you got a warm bed to sleep in, a roof over your head, and just be thankful for all your blessings. Be thankful for when you're doing good. And focus on what you got. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.